Another day, another story. The story's name is Political Workers' Struggle. Achieving any destination and position takes work. But along with avoiding difficulties, a person should also be able to be patient with problems. Otherwise, any person will lose their destination before reaching their goal. Politics is a challenging task. In this, we have the passion to serve the people, but the people are always unhappy. But work has to be done, and workers do work without a desire for reward or praise. This story is also about a political worker who made his place through hard work, dedication, and service spirit. As a political worker, Jane had always been passionate about creating positive change in her community. She believed in the power of democracy and the importance of standing up for what she believed in. But her journey was far from easy. Growing up in a working-class family, Jane had always been aware of the struggles many in her community faced. She had seen firsthand how inequality and injustice could affect people's lives and was determined to make a difference. Jane's journey into politics began when she was in college. She joined a student group focused on promoting social justice and became deeply involved in community organizing. She spent countless hours canvassing neighborhoods, attending rallies and protests, and working to build coalitions with other groups. Despite her passion and hard work, Jane soon discovered that politics was a challenging and often unforgiving world. She faced constant pushback, criticism from opponents, and even some within her own party. Sometimes she felt like giving up, but she knew she had to keep fighting. One of the most challenging moments came when Jane decided to run for office herself. She knew it would be an uphill battle, but she believed she could make a difference. She spent months campaigning tirelessly, attending events, knocking on doors, and making phone calls. But as the election drew closer, Jane faced increasingly vicious attacks from her opponents. They spread rumors and lies about her and even went so far as to create fake websites and social media accounts to disseminate false information. Resistance from powerful interests. Jane's activism often put her at odds with powerful interests in her community, such as developers, business leaders, and politicians who were resistant to change. These groups often used their influence to undermine Jane's efforts, spreading disinformation, organizing opposition campaigns, and leveraging their resources to block her proposals. This made it difficult for Jane to progress on her agenda, and she often had to work tirelessly to make small gains. Criticism from her party. While Jane was committed to progressive values, she sometimes found herself at odds with the more centrist members of her party. They criticized her for being too radical or unrealistic and often hesitated to support her initiatives. This put Jane in a difficult position, as she had to balance the need to work within the political system with her desire to push for bold change. Personal sacrifices. As a political worker, Jane often had to put her life on hold to focus on her activism. This meant long hours, late nights, and weekends spent working rather than spending time with friends and family. She also faced financial struggles, as political work often pays very little, and Jane had to make sacrifices to make ends meet. Attacks on her character. As mentioned in the initial response, Jane faced vicious attacks from her opponents when she ran for office. These attacks went beyond policy disagreements and focused on spreading lies and rumors about her character. This was a deeply personal and hurtful experience for Jane, making her question whether politics was a field she wanted to continue in. Despite the negativity, Jane remained steadfast. She knew that her work was too important to give up on. And when election day finally arrived, She was overwhelmed with emotion as she saw the long lines of people waiting to cast their votes. In the end, Jane's hard work paid off. She won her election by a narrow margin, and she was overjoyed to have the chance to represent her community in government. But she also knew that the struggle was far from over. There would be more battles to fight and more obstacles to overcome. But she was ready for the challenge and knew that anything was possible with hard work and determination. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more stories.